Yeah, that's right. Calvin P from the DMV. Mr. Fingers. This week in UGA football. Get ready, baby. Let's go. Hey gang, how's everybody doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing up in the cheap seats? Y'all in the front, y'all good? Hey, can y'all get around for this table right here, right up in the front? I think they're celebrating the anniversary. Birthday. We got a birthday celebration going on right here. Make sure you take care of them. Hey, what's going on? It is time for another week of, I don't even know why I act like I'm in the comedy club. This week. Football. It is your boy coming to you live from the 405 Zagnam Central. Mr. Fingers and that guy right there. That guy over there on that side, he is the brother from another, the sexy mother Hubbard, the ace of base in the place, in your face. I am very happy to be here. Colin P from the DMV. What's going on with you, mate?
Oh man, I'm absolutely wonderful, man. Good weekend. Happy to full weekend of football, man. A lot of good games. A lot of a lot of SEC took a bit of a hit as a whole of a conference, but overall, man, we had some great games, especially that last one. That nightcap was a good one. But no, man, have a great weekend. Had to be man with me, and unfortunately, like we were talking about, I had to work today. Labor Day means something different for me. I'm laboring on Labor Day, so it's all good. How about yourself?
Oh man, I haven't stopped running. I left work at 4 o'clock on Friday. I haven't stopped running yet. I had a karaoke show Friday night, which turned out really good. Did a little running around on Saturday. Of course, I had to go get my gym time in. Saturday, did some running around. I had a Saturday night show. Walked in the door, looked like it was gonna be dead. Wound up being one of the best Saturday shows I've had in a long time.
That's
Yesterday,
awesome.
I did my little running around or whatever. Today, again, gym, did a little yard work, and now here we are doing what we do. So
That's right. That's right. That's right. But yeah, your shows, man. You remember how when you have it out here, it was kind of. I mean, after a while, some Wednesdays or was it Wednesdays you did it or Mondays? Was it Mondays or Wednesdays? I can't remember when you did it.
I did Mondays at the location in Heard. For those of you that are uninitiated and don't know what we're talking about, I did used to host karaoke pretty much full time. That was my full time gig when I was in a DMV, and I worked 7 nights a week. And there was a cluster of bars owned by one entity called Ned Divine's Irish Gastro Pub. That was that was the full name. I didn't know that. I did Monday nights at the Herndon location. I did Wednesday nights at the Centerville location. We did a little drop in every now and again at the Sterling location. So that's what we had going on.
Yeah,
Hey,
we did Finnegan's. Finnegan's was what was that one?
I took over Finnegan's on Mondays after I stopped doing Ned Divines.
Right. I was gonna say the reason I was saying that was like it was kind of early, when you showed up, but then it was not too many people there. But by the end of the night, man, you pull them in. So I mean,
I
usually
do.
that's when
I get I would get there at 7:30, and maybe me and you would sit at the bar messing with our resident Roll Tide friend, messing with our favorite Roll Tide buddy there. Daryl, shouts out to our guy Daryl. Love that
okay.
dude to death. And he's always said, and
Yes,
Daryl
sir.
was the dude that he loved his Crimson Tide. He didn't care what you said. The Crimson Tide was the absolute best team on the face of the planet, and nobody was going to beat them at all. But that first championship, he was sitting around a lot like this. Oh man, you mean to
Yeah.
tell me I can't play video clips? Oh, bogus.
Well, no, what gets me, we always joke about him is like he is the most pessimistic like winner. I
But
mean,
dude,
well, now, I mean, I guess it just gets kind of mundane. They've won a lot. I mean, and you become a perfectionist. I guess is the best way to
well,
put it. But
we've been like that even before we won the championship. But then again, we
very
sat we
true.
sat on 42 years. We went 42 years without 40,
Yeah, yeah.
40
41.
41 actually, because the national
About
cha- this
42.
the 1980 season, the championship game was in 1981. So we didn't win another championship until 2022, technically speaking, at on the tail end of the 21 season. So it's 41 years, and we were just like, well, if we get one, we get one. And then we won. And then they were like, you think y'all will repeat? Well, if we do it, it'd be great. I don't know. We had to see. And then we won another one. It was like, hey, y'all gonna get three
Yeah,
repeat. I was like, okay, now y'all are just playing. Y'all just playing.
exactly.
Y'all are just playing in our faces. Quit with us. Anyway,
Hey, but
ladies
we
and
we were lucky enough to get a World Series too, because I mean, like that was just icing on the cake. But anyway, that's
oh
another
no.
story.
I mean, but then we got some other squads too. Me and you both living in the DMV. We kind of grew attached to the Nationals and the Washington Capitals, and they both got a little hardware while I was still up
Yeah,
there. So I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all.
not at all. Like I said, I could die every man. I mean, I'm kind of be nice if the Falcons done something, but
No, not yet. The Falcons got to win one before I check out. You hear that, Arthur
uh,
Blank?
hey,
I'm
but
looking at the I'm looking at the camera like that man. Like that man even know who the hell I am.
all
Man, come
right,
on with this. You mean we ain't got no sound effects neither? Ah,
man.
come on. Okay, y'all. So just total transparency. This stuff costs money. This stuff costs money. The payment for this does not come out until this paycheck, which is this week. And apparently they're a lot like Big Worm. They want their money. So right now we have no video clips and we have no reaction clips, no reaction sounds, sound effects, and nothing like that. But we doing all right. For those of you all that just joining us, thank you so much for tuning in this week in UGA football. I am Mr. Fingers. That is Colin P from the DMV right there. And we're here to talk some football. So let's go ahead and get into it. We don't need no sound effects because you got me right here, the human beatbox. So let's get into it. Rumor has it there was a game that took place in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You know, the one with the big ceiling that opens up. Of course, it was closed. So okay. The game took place in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. A replay of the season opener from 3 years ago, and the results pretty much went about the same, except the score was a little bit higher. We actually got some offensive touchdowns this time, and the Dogs wind up winning by 31 points after a heavy, heavy, heavy second half performance. Colin, I'm gonna let you give me your 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I mean, well, you remember our conversation last week. I mean, I guess what we thought the end score was going to be, but yeah, I was telling you off camera that yeah, I was a little bit frustrated. But I mean, it's the first game of the season, but yeah, kind
And
of started off slow, and
and it looks like Colin has frozen on us,
yeah,
y'all.
we
He's still freezing on us. Well, yeah,
put
we
Rich in
did.
there.
Yeah, we did get off to we got off to a slow. We got off to a little bit of a slow start. We definitely had more penalties than necessary during the first half. That just drove me absolutely bonkers. You still there, bro?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me? I'm seeing you kind of freezing
Yeah,
too,
you
so we got a
froze
bad
up.
connection.
Yeah, it must be something going on with the connection here. But we had quite a few penalties during the game. First half was just a lot of what are these guys doing? Like, what are they seriously doing? Like, stalled drives, and penalties just where we just had to give the ball over. It's total transparency for the first time in God only knows how long. I missed the start to the game because I was working late on Friday. My wife, God bless her, came in and shook me and woke me and said, "Hey, I think your game has started. You missed like most of the first quarter." I mean, you know me, I got my ritual. I got to play the battle hymn, and
Yeah.
I put it on the big screen with the sound bar. It sounds even better now with the sound bar. Oh, that lone trumpet. Ah, game day jersey. Hold on. I had to jump up, throw on the game day jersey, get myself together. I think that's what it was. They woke up once I put on the game day jersey.
That's
It
right.
was
Yep. Yep. Excellent. I
no
was gonna
call.
say you didn't miss too much. I mean, you kind of saved yourself a lot of hollering. Like I mean, I was going crazy, but yeah. But hey, at the end of the day, I'm telling you what, our boys woke up and we saw a lot of new faces absolutely ball out, and a lot of old faces do what they normally do. So and open my eyes to some of the guys like number one Carson. I mean, I'm not that I ever was off that bus, but he had a couple scrambles that reassured me that he'll be all right.
Oh yeah, he had a really good game. He might not have had a banner game as far as the SEC was concerned because you guys have seen the scores. I mean, you've seen the 50-point wins
Oh,
and the
yeah,
70-point wins. But for
yeah.
this win, I think it balances out because those games, a lot of those games were cupcake games, and I think who all played ranked teams besides us and LSU? Was that it? Oh,
Um,
A&M, A&M.
yeah, and
So A&M, yeah. So I don't really, I'm not putting any stock in the fact that we scored half of what Arkansas, hung on Arkansas Pine Bluff or anything like that. I still think it was a phenomenal game. 23-33, 278, two touchdowns.
mhm.
One of the things that I noticed was that he seemed a little jittery during the part of the first half that I caught, but you sent the message in the group chat said time for Kirby to give him a speech, and he came back out and he did the doggone thing. He eased up, um, and he got the job done, and that's all. We
Yeah.
won the game.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned, and kind of in the chat, Sean said something about, maybe it was the receivers. I mean, I kind of was maybe a mixture of both. But we had some receivers out there, that were new to the like Humphreys. I mean, it took a minute for him to get comfortable. Like it took the receivers, time to get comfortable. It seemed well, both of them actually, to gel. Once they got on the same page, it was over. And one thing that was awesome to me that I heard the announcer say that it was D Love. We're having some miscues and what have you, and D Love, the announcer said that D Love went straight over to Carson and said, "Hey, what can I do to help you?" You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And that right there is that's what we need. That's team right there. There's no I in team. That's specifically it right there to help your quarterback. Find out where the miscues are and find a way to fix them. Help, ask what can I do to help. That was awesome. But
Yeah, and he said he basically his response was nothing, man. You guys are doing what you're supposed to do. I just need to calm down
yeah,
and
right.
calm down and play better. And once he did that, it pretty much was it. He settled
Yeah.
in. He started going through his reads. You started seeing him be a little more calm. I missed the play where he scrambled. When did that happen? I didn't see that one, but
I think he might have been asleep on that one because I mean I think that was in the first quarter. But I mean the pocket broke down and he scampered for good. Like he had a pretty good cut and he took off. And he didn't do it many times, but I mean that the times he did, he did. That was our conversation. Make something out of nothing, kind of make gain yards. That's the goal. I mean make something out of nothing type of deal. And he did that. Did he ever get? I don't even think he got sacked. I don't think we had a sack. I don't think
I
they let
do
him
not
through.
believe I do not believe so. No, I'm looking at the defensive.
So kudos to the O line.
Yeah, and that was something I was worried about. Remember, because I said we didn't have a whole lot of starters returning on the O line. But they managed to get it done. I do not see. Nope, there was one sack.
Okay.
One sack for 2.5 yards. Peter Woods. I don't know when in the game that was, but
Yeah, I must have
they
missed
did
that.
get them one sack. Again, if there's anything that I cannot speak to directly, I did go back and look at the replay. Thank those of y'all that are tuning in. We appreciate y'all tuning in to the gang from Let's Talk Football. That's our guys there, Nate, Alex, and the gentleman I like to refer to as the OG, Sean Spencer of the Let's Talk Football family and all affiliated podcasts thereof. They also had a college football show that was just on earlier. College football update. It goes on immediately prior to us, and they are also findable on Facebook and YouTube under
Mm-hmm.
the page name is Sean Spencer. You can find him right under there on Facebook and YouTube and all the aforementioned platforms that I talked about. So please go check them out. They do an absolutely awesome job. And we cut up when all of us hang out together. And even if we're not on the show, we're cutting up in the comments. So it's worth hanging out and watching.
Hey, one more thing I want to talk about back is like we're true to form like we've done in past years. He spread the ball around. I mean, like he had 9 receivers. I mean, it was just like nobody was getting the ball all the time. He was just spreading it around, and it was a whole. I mean, obviously we had some dump offs, but I mean we took some shots down the field, which I was happy to see too. So
Yeah, another thing that I'm noticing here in the box score, no fumbles lost. That is what that tells me is that they're taking good care of the ball, good ball protection, and not putting it on the ground unnecessarily. Um, and that's the spreading around. I love that too. Uh, you know, there were a lot of pundits that said at the end of the season when our two guys got drafted, the two, Ladd and
mm,
Brock. What's the Georgia receiving core going to be like
yeah,
without those two guys? I mean, say what you want to say. Those two dudes were absolute studs, and we as fans, we are willing to admit that they were a huge part of the production of the receiving core for 2-3 seasons. But yeah,
yeah.
everybody got a
Well,
little touch.
it's kind of like the conversation, when we won the national championship the first time. It was, Stetson had a good defense. It's like when somebody progresses and does well, then it's, oh, well, he did this because of that. They did this because of that,
Uh-huh.
But kind of hard to say that when you spread all around and spread the love, so to speak. But, we got even the transfers we got, like we talked about, Landon Humphreys, we looked at D Love, and even the freshman tight end, Lawson Lucky, he got involved. That big, tall, monstrous dude. Like, man, he had a couple of good plays.
Wait a minute. You
And then
said what? You said
over
you
here,
said what players that came in? It's,
talking
it's,
about
it's a
London Humphrey,
No, no, no.
our
Well, it's a word for people that didn't used to play for your team before because they were someplace else, and then they what they do? What do they do?
transfer.
Yeah. Hey, looking at you, Dabo Swinney. Pew pew. Shots fired.
Don't come
I
up here
saw.
with asking for money.
I saw. I heard a very interesting statistic. Thursday, Friday. 63 teams in the Power Four.
uh,
48 of them had starting quarterbacks or starting skill players that transferred in from someplace else. 48 of them.
wow, wow.
And Dabo's, I mean, I get where Dabo's coming from, but you understand. But I'm pretty sure somewhere there's a guy that has a fax machine in his office going. There's a guy that makes fax machines going. No, it's gonna make a comeback, bro. I'm telling you, and he's going broke doing it. And
Hmm.
that could wind up being the undoing of the program at Clemson.
Well, not no disrespect to the Godfather or the coach, the greatest coach of college football, Saban, but I mean that was part of the reason why he kind of I mean he said himself, he's like, "Guess this is not what I'm used to," But at the same point, you got to adapt, and then Kirby said, "Okay, well if you got to adapt," and I mean I think he did a whale of a job getting these guys. He did, you know what I mean? But his comments were like, if I could keep the team that I have, I would love to keep the players that I have. He said, you got to work to keep the players you have. He said, but if we're forcing my hand to go get them, then we got to go get the best players. And Did you hear Saban on game day talking about Ohio
I,
State, talking about $20 million team?
I told you I slept until.
Oh, you slept through that too, man.
Wait a minute. Wait. When was this? Was this prior to the next game?
No, this is prior to all the games, so I guess you did sleep through it. But
Yeah, I didn't wake up until it was like 3 quarters of the way through the first quarter. The wife came in and shook me. It's like, you're missing your. I guess she thought that some aroma. You know how like in the cartoon where somebody's
Yeah.
baking a pie and then the smell of the pie drifts in the room and then Bugs Bunny drifts in on that cloud of smoke to follow the
The
trail.
smoke, the
I
smoke
guess, I
was,
guess she just thought the smell of UGA football was gonna waft through the air and it was gonna wake me up and I was just gonna follow it and it was gonna sit me in front of the TV. And then when that didn't happen, she said, "Well, I guess I better go get him." So
that internal clock, the internal dog clock didn't go off. But yeah, let me put you up on then. So what he said, he was talking about the Ohio State. I guess they were talking about the $1 million, NIL or whatever, $10 million, whatever they were going out and spend Ryan Day. And Saban said, well, if you're going to spend, I don't know why he said 20 million, but he said if you're going to spend $20 million, you better make sure you get the right players, or else. What did he say? I can't. It escapes me. He said something like, "Then it don't mean S word." Like he said on live TV. Then it don't mean ish. You know what I mean? And he said it right now. It was hilarious.
I
And
think
then,
Coach is still getting used to being on actual live television.
yeah, then
You know what I did? Wait. I will say this. Hold on, before you go any further. I loved the commercial. I did love the Aflac commercial where the duck holds up the fish and Nick is like, "See, that's how you hold up a trophy." I was like, oh, from the
yeah,
hip. Look, from the hip holster, the pew pew.
he's a funny dude, man. Because I mean, and then of course Herbie had to come back and try to justify it. You know what I mean? He came out and just was explaining, well, here 20 million, you got to go out. And then I said, all right. I said it was a joke, man. It was a joke.
You know what? You know what his problem was? Miss Terry didn't give him his bean pies before the
Shut up. Maybe I was hungry then. Maybe I was hungry and I just wanted a bean pie.
You the one wanted to be. That's what it was. You wanted a bean pie.
I did. They're good. Don't get me wrong. They're good,
Oatmeal
man.
cream pie. Oatmeal cream pie. I will have to look, folks. You since we don't have the ability to play clips tonight, you will have to go to Zagner Productions, where you the link on this very YouTube page where you are seeing us right now, and look for the short where it says that Nick Saban bean pie. This man came out and said Nick Saban liked bean pies, and boy, I don't know who, but somebody took it and ran with it and had a blast with
No,
it.
I was trying to go. I was trying to kind of just move past it, and you caught it. You caught it, and I couldn't. I couldn't. Couldn't deny it. You got me.
You couldn't recover from it.
Couldn't pull it back. Couldn't pull it back.
Something about Nick Saban being a member of the Nation of Islam and all of that, you know. Bean pie, my brothers.
Red fish, blue fish. Stop it.
One fish, two fish. Don't get me started. Look, don't be a menace to South Central. Don't get me started.
I can go quote for quote, boy.
we supposed to be talking football. Yeah. We're supposed to be talking football. And Georgia did definitely. They showed up and they showed everybody why they were the preseason consensus number one.
So what was let me cut you off, but we did the final score prediction. So I mean, I was close. I said I think 42-10. I think you said, what did you say?
I don't remember. I slept since then.
I
slept since then. That's bad. I would have to go back and look at the replay to be able to say, because I know
I think we were close. We were definitely.
I know I wrote down copious notes, but I misplaced them somewhere. I don't know. They probably got thrown out during somebody else's "Your Season Is Over" video yesterday, which, by the way, was quite hilarious. If you haven't checked it out, sir, you have to check that out. But it was a great game. Georgia showed why they were the consensus preseason number one. 40 consecutive regular season victories, regular season games without a loss. The only 3 losses in the last 3 seasons are to Alabama in the conference championships, and that's it.
We were only
no losses otherwise. So absolutely amazing. You know what? Let's take a no. I can't do breaks. I can't take a break right now because I can't play the break video. So let's go ahead and keep going. Game balls. Who you got for game balls this game?
Oh, you know who it is. Got to be Mr. Frazier. Down goes Frazier down the field, down in the end zone, everywhere. I mean, he was. He was a pleasant surprise, man. But he definitely did ball out. And what I really love about it, kept alive the touchdown celebrations from DeAndre Swift and what was it, Sony Michelle, I guess it was, when he did this and then he went to
Oh yeah.
this.
Oh
That
yeah.
was good
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. 477 yards of total offense. I don't think that's half bad for playing against a number 14 team and a team that undeniably could possibly be probably one of the top two teams in the conference this year. Speaking of the conference, I don't know if you saw that I put up earlier, just side note. Florida State may be on their way to losing their second game. That is the score.
Wow. Wow. Man, oh man.
And are they playing at home? They're playing at home, aren't they?
It looks like it, yeah. Like I said, for those you have Direct TV, you're not able to watch these games because I guess Direct TV and Disney are fighting it out. So you ain't got no ESPN, no any channels associated therewith.
Johnny Dean, appreciate you joining us this evening. Johnny Dean of NFL Edition Weekly. Also, another show you need to check out. Also affiliated. Listen, y'all, we are a podcast community. There are, I want to say, about 15 or 20 of us in this little collective.
And all
Myself
across
and
the
Colin.
place.
And I mean, this is across multiple states. This is across multiple states, almost all the way out from East Coast to West Coast. I know from East Coast out to West Coast, and then we have some folks up in Canada. So yeah, and we all got podcasts. All of us have podcasts. All of us do shows. So you definitely want to check all of them out. Every single one of them. Again, shouts out to our guy Johnny Dean. Thank you for joining. In addition to Sean and the fellas from College Football Update. But 477 yards of total offense is incredible. You kind of jumped on the one I was going to jump on, but I 100% agree with you. And if Larry was still alive, I could hear him right now going, "My gosh, freshman, this kid's a true freshman." But that also me too. So of course we don't want to. I noticed that Oscar Belt didn't get any touches. Didn't get any touches this game, but I mean, you had to spread it around. So, and
Yeah.
we do have our game against Tennessee Tech coming this weekend. I think everybody's going to get to. I think everybody's going to get to play next week. We'll talk about that a little later on. But the one person that I want to touch on that has not, and I know it's just week one, and I know there are 11 more regular season games to play, but the one person that I was looking forward to showing out that I did not give me enough is Mr. Branson Robinson. We talked about that. You and I have been talking. We have talked about this kid since before he came into the program. We have talked about this kid since his picture dropped on Twitter
Yeah.
when he was still in high school. And he still looks like he could be trouble. But 7 carries for 12 yards. He averaged 1.7 yards. For frame of reference, he caught 2 passes for 4 yards. So his receiving
Yeah.
average was higher than his rushing average, and he caught 5 less passes than he did in rushes. He 2 rushes, 7 passes. So I want to see I really want to see when this kid's going to step up, which we're going to need because um, apparently, unfortunately, our guys can't stop either driving way too fast or drinking and driving,
Yeah.
which resulted in ATN having to sit the game out.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
and once again, in typical Kirby fashion, Kirby acting like it's a CIA secret. But that was a guy that I was hoping to have a game ball for, and I really don't have one for him because he didn't do anything, and there was so much love spread all the way around. But I take that back. I know who I got a game ball for, Mr. Malachi Starks.
Yep.
Malachi. I mean jeez, that interception was insane. It was almost like
It was
we
almost picture perfect. Like I mean, the
it,
same as Oregon. I mean,
it's almost like we saw that someplace before, right?
yeah, yeah.
In another season opener against another team. Oh wait, I think it was the same team. Tee-hee. Um
Hey, just to that fact,
Dabo,
Javon Bullard
Dabo.
actually tweeted. Javon Bullard actually tweeted that he said that's a bad man, and then
Yeah,
Javon Bullard. So, but go ahead,
I'm
speak,
just
speak.
saying, Dabo, transfer portal, transfer portal.
I bet you'll be in there late next year. I bet
Nah.
you
Well, you know what? I think.
he'll be
Well, it depends.
voluntold.
Listen, but here's the thing. That's only one game. They still have plenty of time to, turn the corner, especially if
Oh, true.
Florida State keeps playing like they're playing right now. I mean, it definitely might be. I don't know who else is going to step up in that conference, but I mean, it might wind up being a one pony show from wire to wire. Who
Yeah.
knows? Update current score 14-3. FSU has scored a field goal, 5:05 left to go in the second quarter. Um, let's look at some of the scores around the horn. I mean, all the way around. Great game. Georgia takes on Tennessee Tech next week at home. Enough to be said. Sanford Stadium at home on a Saturday. Right now, the picker has Georgia with a 99% chance of winning. There is no
Yeah.
line yet. There
I
is no
don't think it
line
will be.
yet. Yeah, Tennessee Tech losing last week to Middle Tennessee State, 32-25 in a home stand. So, um, it's. I'll get to that in a second, Johnny. That's a very good question. I'll get to that in a second. That one looks like that is definitely going to be a win. I mean, what can I say about that? So there's not a whole lot left to say about that. But let's talk about some of these games around the horn. But before we do that, I'm going to put this question up here, Colin. I'm going to let you fill this one, and then I'll jump in with my 2 cents. This is from Johnny. Serious question: when your team is as good as the Dogs, how hard is it to find topics? I mean, you could just get to the point where you just go on and say Bulldogs, enough said.
Well, my point is, me and you've been talking about this, fingers. Is like, we are one and the same. You know, we've been 41 years, right? So I mean, we are. I mean, I don't know about you. I think you're the same way, but I'm cautiously optimistic. So I mean, I'm not really that. You know, I can find things to be kind of concerned about, or can be concerned about. A lot of things actually. But I'm very hesitant to say, Bulldogs no said, because I mean, like any given Saturday, we've actually seen it happen. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at Vandy. Vandy's a thorn in people's side when they jump out when nobody actually expects it. But no, I mean, to the question, I mean, we're happy, dude. I mean, like we can always find something to talk about, be it good, bad, otherwise. So, oh, there's no gloating, man. Come on. Can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. There
There
we
you
go.
go. Yeah.
What I was going to say is, what I was going to say. Wow, that means y'all haven't heard anything I said for God only knows how long. Um,
Remix.
I had muted my own microphone. The only time that I gloat, Sean, is when we get one of these. I'll give you a how about them dogs after a game win. I'll give you a ring the bell. I will do that because I'm happy we won. Gloat? No. You no. No. That is the prerequisite for gloating. And even then, I'm gonna be like, all right, we won. Let's see the celebration. On to the next one. Let's see what's coming up next season. So, but I mean, man, I ain't trying to rain on the parade. I know he trying. I know we have a little fun. We have a little fun, but I just want to make that known. Me and this guy, we are never gonna come out and say, we gonna run the table. Even though even though based on the talent we have on the team and what the schedule says and what we saw from the previous year, inside our heads we be like, we probably could run the table. I'm not gonna come out and say that though.
Well, that was the first time ever, I think, 2 years ago when I said we're going to run the table, and I actually really felt that way. But I would any other circumstance, I probably wouldn't say it. But I felt good. I felt like we could, had a very good shot at it.
Oh, here we go with this. I got receipts crap.
Oh,
Hold on.
see, now there's a difference between gloating and being a fan, Sean. Come on, brother. Hey, I
I mean,
spread the love.
I got a receipt too. It's from the gas station for $22 for 7.777 gallons of gasoline. And then what's the rest of this? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, it's actually for $33. So I must have bought some sodas and some
So
other
you
stuff.
didn't buy gas for $33. That's for sure. You probably got like a gallon.
Ah. Nah, that's the Northern Virginia prices. I heard y'all was paying like $28 a half gallon.
Bro,
Um,
you fill up my tank is at 100 plus. It's crazy.
what the
But
hell are you driving, a bulldozer?
oh no, man. Well, that's the difference between driving a 13-gallon tank and a 21-gallon tank. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, I got
I'm
a little.
I'm
I got.
exaggerating $100, but I mean, it's up there. It's about 70,
I, I'm
60
I'm
something.
driving. I'm driving the Equinox with a 14 gallon, so I'm still in that good
No,
range.
yeah,
It don't take me no more than 40 to fill it up. But we getting sidetracked here.
yeah,
You know what? To be honest, it's just good to be able to, for a change, to be able to say, hey, we've got one of these in the last few recent years, and our team is good enough that people respect the team now and the talent that's on the team versus saying, oh, we might could take them. I mean,
yeah.
so, but
It puts you.
but
Well,
even still, that being where we are, that being what it is, I think he and I are very much in the we're that different breed. We're not the drunk obnoxious Georgia fans that the song sings about.
yeah. Well, I mean, just be honest. I mean, once you do that, like look at Bama, look at LSU, look at the times they've had at the top of the national championship. It puts you in a different class. It puts you in a different conversation. Like winning the winning the conference championship and winning the national championship puts you in a different conversation in people's heads. So I mean, that's the biggest thing, and they
One
expect
hundred
you to
percent.
do it. So,
And not only winning those, but winning them repeatedly. So even though we only have the one conference championship between the two national championships, we still got the national championships and a conference championship and are still in the conversation. So,
yeah,
but there are kids right now that are fans of Bama that have never not known as football fans
right,
what it's like during the dry years between Bear Bryant and Nick Saban.
right,
You know what I mean? And
right,
that's what I hope that Kirby builds at Georgia, is that there's a
yeah.
program where, you know, 5, 10 years from now, because Kirby hadn't been to coach at Georgia for 10 years yet.
Mm,
Uh, think about that. He hadn't been there for 10 years. He's already got two national championships, four trips, three or four trips to the conference championship, and three appearances in the national championship in less than 10 years. So,
yeah,
and he's right along with me. So he could feasibly coach another 10 or 15 years. So you think about that. That's what I wanted to build. I wanted to build that
yeah.
legacy so that, the fans can look back and go, hey, look, man, that team right there, you couldn't mess with them. And then that sets the standard so that when Kirby decides to hang it up, they're not going to accept anything less than, at a minimum, at least what Mark Richt was giving them.
Yeah. And that's what he's doing. I mean, like, honestly, that's what he's doing. And what press conference was that at? He said that his mentality is you want to ask the team across the field who they don't want to play. He said, I guarantee you they don't want to play us.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean that's our coach. You know what I mean? That's what I like. I mean, that's what I miss with Mark Rick. I wish he had that kind of fire. But I mean, we were 10 wins given. Don't get me wrong, 10 wins. Never could win a
Every
big one.
year.
But
Every year. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. But more often than not, we were going to drop every other year to Florida. We were going to drop every other year to Tennessee.
and quite a few SEC championships under him though.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He did.
But
I mean, God, and then to think about the fact that prior to Kirby taking over, all that talent he had with Stafford and then Aaron Murray, and just to not be able to get over the hump.
No Sean. I mean, we had no Sean Marino. We had all these guys that are in the NFL right
Ooh,
now. They were
God.
balling out as soon as they left. You know.
I mean, the cupboards were full, and I mean the cupboards are still full. But man, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go to what's going on around the horn. Fear, 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 fear. Like I said, Georgia did not have a as dominant a performance against their season opening opponent, but again, they were playing a ranked foe, so we'll take that. A W is still a W, is still a W, especially when you win against a ranked team. However, there are some fan bases. You want to talk about gloating, Sean? There's some fan bases right now, some chat groups that believe they are all going to win the conference and the national championship based on their opening performances. Namely, namely, Wu Ping Sui down in Arkansas, who beat Arkansas Pine Bluff 70 to nothing. The quarterback Green, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jackson with 8 carries and 101 yards. That is insane. That's
Off of
just
just
insane.
8 carries. Off of just 8 carries. That's nuts.
Yeah, but UAPB is a small HBCU. You know what I mean in Arkansas. That's like the time I think it was Oklahoma State went to Ted Wright Stadium and just beat the, as Uncle Lou would say, the will to the soul and will to live out of the Tigers at home in
Yeah.
their home stadium. But yeah, 70 to nothing. They basically put the brakes on at the after the second quarter because they scored 28 in the first, 21 in the second,
Didn't they
and then
do?
they
They did
scored.
like a running clock. I mean, I think they turned. They just didn't stop the clock from getting on out. Or was that the Auburn game? Okay. Or the
I believe that was the Auburn game.
Okay.
Missouri, their fan base a little bit more realistic, but they hung 51 on Murray State. Not surprised. Brady Crook. Oh my God, Brady Cook.
Stop
At, at least I caught. Hey, look. Hey, Sean Spencer. At least I caught it this time. I didn't just keep going with it. Yeah. Hashtag Timothy McVeigh. Um,
it.
yeah. For those of you that don't get that reference, I went through a whole segment on one of our NFL shows talking about Timothy McVeigh, the coach of the Los Angeles Rams, and that's so obviously not who that was. That's another guy that's notorious for another reason here in this state, but we won't talk about that.
Oh man.
So yeah, you got bean pies, I got Tim McVeigh. So Missouri comes up with a big win. Oklahoma, new to the conference. Dude, all I can tell you is I had the karaoke show on Friday. The game was on Friday. I showed up. That bar was full, full,
Yeah.
full of Boomer Sooners.
Yeah.
Boomer Sooners 51-3.
And they're hollering about, that we told you we coming. I'm like, all right, that's Temple. That's Temple. Wait till you
Right.
get the SEC schedule. Wait till you get to
Yeah.
meat and potatoes, brother. Meat and potatoes will show it all.
Yeah, Jackson Arnold. Yeah. You coming, but Jackson Arnold only threw for 141 yards against Temple. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now, granted, if you got your defense putting you in a position and you have a short field, out, you know what? I'll retract that statement because that's fair. You threw for 141 yards against Temple, but he did have 4 touchdowns altogether. Texas, similar score, 52 to nothing over visiting Colorado State. Quinn Ewers, 260, 3 touchdowns, and a pickle. How you throwing pickle to cut? Never mind. I'm gonna be quiet because somebody gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna be careful what I say. Because if I say how you throw an interception against Colorado State, if Georgia play Buck Tussle State, if Georgia Tech can't play in the season ender and we play Buck Tussle State and Carson Beck throw an interception, I could see somebody, I don't know who, looking at you, Sean Spencer, on their show going, how you gonna throw boo-boo an interception against Buck Tussle State? Don't worry, I'll wait. But Quinn Ewers looked good, although the leading rusher for that game was Marshall from Colorado State with 106
Yeah.
yards and 25 carries. Wow, that's impressive. My understanding, I did not see any of the game, didn't see any of the replays, but my understanding is some kid who's got a couple of famous uncles that got a chance to get in and tap
Yeah.
in and get some action too. Let's see,
And
Alabama.
his touchdown was a quite an interesting touchdown to say the very least. But to
Say
go back to
again.
that, I said his first touchdown was quite interesting. If you haven't seen it, pull it up and watch how the touchdown was made. It was hella
Okay.
close.
Okay, definitely will. The Rammer Jammer Yellowhammer Alabama 63 to nothing over Western Kentucky. Small surprise there. Jalen Milrow 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. Haynes with 4 carries. I thought the other dude was impressive. This dude broke 100 yards on 4 freaking carries. Haynes. Now, here's the thing. He only got 1 touchdown.
Well, oh
Yes,
man.
yes, yes, Sean. I did say it with my whole chest. Wait a minute, hold on, I gotta get that right there. I did. I said it with my whole chest, and I kept saying it. And then it was so bad. He had to send me a thing. He had to send me a thing in my messenger because this was the roundtable show. I don't think he was actually on. He was like, "Hey, bro, his name is Sean." I was like, "Oh, word? Okay, my bad."
Oh man, I wish I'd have seen that one.
Yeah, bean pie. Them two run right
Bean
alongside each
pie.
other. They run right alongside each other. Ole Miss, the high score of the day. Remember back in the day, you used to go to the arcade and try to get your initials on the video game. Ole Miss 76 to nothing over Furman. Jackson
No,
Dart
that's
four.
that's the game I was talking about. The running clock. I'm sorry, Auburn. I think was. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I think it was this one.
No, go ahead. You
No, I
good?
was just saying. I think it was this one that they actually turned to the running clock. There's no mercy rule or slow rule, what have you. But so they just started running the clock. But go ahead, man. Keep it moving. You got
Yeah,
Jackson.
man.
Oh man.
Jackson Dart 418 yards, 5 touchdowns. That absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Harris with 8 receptions, 179 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Here was the head scratcher of the day. Well, it wasn't really a head scratcher for me. We all know about Notre Dame. We all know not Notre Dame. We all know about Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Uh, and Texas A&M could be a 10-win team or a 5-win team from year to year, and it could be the same coach and the same squad. Texas A&M drops their home opener 13-23 to the visiting Irish from Notre Dame. Well, that's all I got to say about that's all I have to say about that. Tennessee 69 points over Chattanooga to Chattanooga's 3. Nico, I am as Uncle Luke calls him, Nico, I am Olivia. 39, 3 touchdowns, 314 yards. Sampson with 12 carries,
That's
124
good.
yards and 3 touchdowns. Leading receiver Thornton Jr. with 3 receptions for 105 yards. Good God. These kids are putting up mad numbers.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, you're playing a cupcake in your
Right.
season opener. This is what you're supposed to do. You're
Yeah. I was gonna say I
supposed to
don't
do
know
it.
how much of a confidence builder it is. I mean, I guess it is a confidence builder, but I mean at the same point, look at who you playing. But that
Well,
that
go ahead.
go ahead. No, I was gonna say it kind of brings up like these cupcakes. I mean, I guess it brings up a conversation whether it's better to have these cupcakes at the beginning of the season or toward the end of the season. You know what I mean? It kind of it kind of gives a question there as to what effect it has on the team. Or in my mind, let's just put it that way. So I don't know. I don't know how we. I feel like we should have a good game, like a test game, like we had against Clemson, right? So
Yeah,
I mean, if you open up with like a cupcake, I mean, you got nowhere else to go up.
right. Well, we started off the game against Clemson against a ranked opponent, and now this week we're playing Tennessee Tech. So
Right. So we
now
can. Yeah.
that's the game where you tweak your whatever mistakes you had against your ranked opponent. I actually like that. That's a good concept. I like that, brother. I like that a lot.
Yeah. And we have
Uh,
time to heal if we have any injuries. We have a little time to heal. We put the guys on, give them a little bit of a break.
yeah, 100%. You put first team out there, first quarter, maybe halfway through the second quarter, put in your second string.
Right.
You know, keeping it moving with the wins. I'm kind of jumping around with the order of service here because I got one I definitely want to highlight. Kentucky at home with the rain delay getting started a little bit late, 31 to nothing over Southern Miss. BVG Brock Vandegrift, 169 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Said he looked pretty impressive. Other than a couple of miscues here and there, he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, Let's see. Then moving up, we got Auburn, Alabama, bruh. When is the last time you saw Auburn score 73 points?
It's been a minute. It has been a minute. You talking about the confidence booster? I mean, like they haven't had
Yeah,
anything.
but the problem is again those unrealistic fans that are like, we're gonna run the table and win the
Right.
conference, and hey,
Well, let's be
hey,
honest. They haven't had anything to really cheer about in a little while. So I mean, take what you
yeah,
got.
yeah. I'm sure a lot of them are watching our guy Happy Feet in his start in his week 3 start at Denver and cheering him on. Because I gotta say it, I cannot say that enough. We teased that kid endlessly when he was at Auburn. Bo Nix, for those of you watching this,
Yeah.
whether it's 2 weeks down the road or 20 years from now when we're all in our 60s, when we're in our 60s and 70s, maybe not even doing this anymore. Bo Nix was a quarterback at Auburn. And long time ago, kid, he was a quarterback at Auburn, and he struggled a little bit. And then I can't do that voice for too long. Then he wound up transferring to Oregon and doing great things under Bo Nix. Oh wow! Speaking of Oregon, what happened? Keeping it pushing. Mississippi State, 56 to 7. 56 to 30. What happened? Don't ask me why. That caught me after the fact. That's one of them slow burners. South Carolina barely squeaks by ODU.
Yeah,
Didn't they?
that game was crazy.
Isn't there a kid that went to ODU and wound up playing football somewhere up there by you that Sean likes or something like that? What's his name? Heineke. Is that how you pronounce it? Anyway,
Uh,
so South Carolina with the 23-19 win over Old Dominion. Hey, look, a win is a win, and Beamer ball is Beamer ball, no matter who the coach is. Then, of course, we had the what I think was the shocker for me on Saturday. What are you thinking about this Florida law, man? Does it shock you or what?
no, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I just they. Well, I mean, let me take that back. Let me rewind that. So maybe the score kind of shocks me. I didn't think it was going to be this big of a big deal, but if you look, we talked about their schedule. I mean, they had like their tail end of their schedule is absolutely just insane because they're playing all these ranked teams. And so I mean, there's we talked about it. I think it's probably we said we see 6 losses like at the tail end of their schedule. Didn't expect them to. I mean, I did expect them to lose against Miami, but I didn't expect this score. It just I don't know. As far as in for like, I mean, this year's gonna be tough. Now, talking
It's gonna
about
be a long season.
is it? Yeah, absolutely.
Now,
Long or
Cam,
short, however you look at it. I mean, it may be fans may be turning the TV off, but I mean, it just it's we're talking about Sunset. Sorry, Sunbelt Billy. Talking about his contract.
you had it right. It might be sunset. It might be
Sunset.
sunset for Sunbelt Billy if he
I
doesn't
don't
get it
know,
right.
man. I mean, I would have a hard time writing that check, his buyout. But at the same point, it is the SEC. They
Hey,
got the
hey,
cash. But,
look. They didn't have a problem stroking that check for Jimbo.
or Coach
If they
O.
wa- if they want you going if they want you gone badly enough, they'll do what they need to do.
Oh, dude, and to that point, I've been seeing a lot of chatter about Muschamp. Them trying to get Muschamp back. But don't we have Muschamp on our sideline? I mean, like a lot of people saying, bring back the God or whoever, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of chatter. You know what I'm saying, from the Florida fan. But
Well, dude, there's always chatter. There's always going to be chatter. The fans are always going to have a friend who's got a cousin who's sleeping with a
oh
girl,
yeah, I
who's
heard
sleeping
this
with
from somebody.
a girl whose sister works in a ticket office, and she overheard somebody texting that Muschamp was coming back. Sean, to answer your question, I'm gonna let Colin you answer that one for me, man. Well, yeah, what do you think, Colin?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's just overall. I mean, it goes into everything else that with Florida. All the talent. I mean, and the basic question is like, what do they do to get the talent to come back? I mean, Florida's been always, and they've always been like a top tier team, and they're going through it right now. But I mean, of course, I had an effect. But I mean, did you see after the game, the Miami guys were going up talking to the Florida recruits, and they were trying to get them to come to Miami. You saw them at they were just in the stands talking.
Wow,
As
the
you talking
disrespect.
the level of disrespect is crazy. But but what can you say? I mean, if they run, in all aspects, they run Florida. Miami runs Florida right now. I mean, Florida don't. I mean, it's just they've got to find something. Billy. That's another question. Is like, do you think he is given another year, given his contract what he's been owed, or do you think they're gonna kick him out? I mean, I know
I
it's the season, but
well, it's like I said, man. If they want him gone badly enough, if this season goes sideways badly enough, they'll find the money from somewhere. They'll go down and find the dudes from Duck Dynasty and get them to kick in some money to get rid of this dude, man. You know?
yeah. But I mean, looking at history, I don't really, I don't really think Florida has been down this bad ever. I don't remember being that bad.
Oh, you know what? It's not that bad though. It's 26 million. That's a lot less than they paid out Jimbo. It's more than they paid out
Oh, I thought it was
Coach
more than that.
O. But yeah, I did too.
I was
So,
thinking
but
80, not 26.
but still, if they want to get rid of him badly enough, you
Yeah.
see what they did to Coach O. Coach O won a national championship, and 2 years later, they said, you know what? Let's just go ahead and call this a extra national championship bonus. Thank you so much for your service, and in your words, go Tigers. And don't
No
let
doubt.
tell me which door I need. Hey, tell me
When
which
you
door I
want
need
me
to go out
going.
of. Yeah,
When you
when
want
you
me
want me
going.
going. As far as to answer your question, Nate, I'm gonna get back around to Sean's comment. Who do we play next? We play what is it, Central Tennessee? I just had it pulled up. Tennessee
Tennessee.
Tech. We
Yeah,
play
Tennessee Tech.
against Tennessee Tech at home. It is a home game. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern on the SEC Network and ESPN. That should be light work.
And
I
for
say
your
it
direct
should be light.
TV guys, hopefully that the they'll be duking it out will be over. Because if not, you got to watch it on like online somewhere. But
Yeah.
hopefully not.
But look, we're busy talking about Florida and Miami. I want to I do not do this very often because these guys have long been our punching bag, right? But I want to send out mad congratulations to the Commodores of Vanderbilt University for their opening season win against Virginia Tech, who I
Yeah.
believe was favored by like 19. I think they were like a 3-touchdown favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanderbilt got it done in front of the home crowd.
Hey, they jumped out the first half. I mean, they jumped out quick,
Yeah.
fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, they basically set I mean, Virginia Tech did come back, but they basically set the foundation that would set them up for success. Because if they hadn't, they probably would have lost that game. Yeah, I agree with you, Sean. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. You know, and he said it might be time to put in Lagway.
Mm-hmm.
But they did. They went out. They jumped out to a huge lead. When I saw it, I was like, "What?" And then that was the game I flipped over to when our game went off because I wanted to see the end of that. I was like, literally at I forgot who said it, but it's like cheering for your little brother. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right.
if you got a big family and you got a little brother, like the baby brother,
Yeah.
everybody, all the older siblings pick on the baby brother, but
Yeah.
nobody else can pick on the baby brother. So when your baby brother goes and finally knocks somebody in the jaw, you like, yo, that's my baby brother, yo.
Yeah.
I, dude, you know what? This is gonna sound dumb. I'm actually getting a little bit welled up talking about it, and that is no joke.
But
Vanderbilt, I'm proud of y'all.
hey, hopefully this shows some of the guys from Oklahoma and the newcomers to the SEC, Oklahoma, Texas. I mean, I've been saying since day one, I said you cannot look past Vanderbilt. They'll jump up and bite you when you least expect it. I mean, these teams that are normally passed up, like as a given W, any given. But yeah,
Yeah.
congrats to Vandy, man. They've been almost there, man. Almost there, almost there. Yeah, but that was a huge win. Huge win.
You know what? A couple of seasons ago, Clark Lee came in and we made jokes about him, and but based on what he had that season, that quick start they got out to, I think he still got that atmosphere there. I don't know what happened last season, but he still got that
Right.
atmosphere there. So I'm gonna keep an eye on him because I really want to see what he's gonna do with them this season. I always want to see Vanderbilt do well. Um, well, of course, when they're playing us, of course, but I always want to see the boys, the Commodores, do well because that's the program that's like they are the SEC equivalent of Georgia Tech. when it comes to football.
Yeah.
Although Georgia Tech, we not even gonna get into that. We're not even gonna get into that
They might
because
be at
that was
1% right now, though. You know, they Georgia Tech's doing their thing. So
yeah, they are because I mean Haynes King was a good get. That's all I'm gonna say. Your loss, Texas A&M. Hey Dabo, another transfer quarterback. Did I say that out loud? All right, we're gonna keep this thing rolling. Hey gang, we appreciate y'all tuning in this evening for this week in UGA football. We're here every Monday. We will be back. You know what? Next week is your birthday weekend, right?
right, and your boy will be in Nashville, so I will be out of pocket. I'll be in Nashville from Sunday to Wednesday. So Monday's show, I might be on location. If you want to reach out, we can definitely do something. But I won't be able
Okay.
to do the whole show though. But I'll check in.
Okay. I do believe we talked with Mr. Spencer about being a sit-in for you in your absence. If not, Sean Spencer, if you're watching, need you in the second chair next week, sir. Enter office memo incoming. So anyway, we appreciate you guys tuning in on behalf of myself, Colin P. from the DMV, live from the 405, all the way from the DMV. We will see you next week. Have a great week. We're going to go and try and catch the rest of this game, and we'll holler at you later. Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.